Let's try and get people in. Right, we've got a few issues on the group. Right, let's try Educate to Trade Zoom Friday before we start. Right. Hopefully, those people who can't get in, hopefully that will help you getting in there. Apologies. The issues we've got, waiting room. Oh, dear me. Chris Lee. Right. We got those. Right. We'll go into it now as it record. If those of you can't get in, hopefully we'll try and rectify it. But one of the reasons overnight the market has come off, which I think a few people haven't quite seen, and we'll go through it, has been this leaked report from the US internal CDC document that warns that Delta variants, pardon me, infections are more severe than they thought, and they think the Delta variant can spread as easily as chickenpox. That's been doing the rounds, and I've been sent it by a fair few people. Right. Obviously, the other one which everyone has seen is Amazon. Amazon had superb sales, but their third quarter guidance, very much a bit like Apple's, would refuse to talk about it, especially after supreme sales. Everything else has dropped 8%. Obviously, that's a worry. And also, they have admitted through it that their breakneck growth will slow over the coming months. He did actually say that on the first quarter end, the worrying thing that people were getting a bit carried away. Right, we'll go into it quickly. 9 o'clock, German GDP expected to be better. Everyone was talking about it yesterday due to the vaccinations and the reopenings, etc. 1.2% we're expecting. Versus a previous negative 0.3% decline. CPI, we're looking at 2%. And remember that 2% was massively mentioned by Christine Lagarde at the ECB. That's their new target. Obviously, before was 1.9, 1.8. And the core inflation we're expecting to hold, according to Christine Lagarde, boss of the ECB, at the 0.9%. Quickly go through the news if you've got time. ECB focuses on medical data to the end of the emergency pandemic. That was Mr. Cos, who spoke earlier today in the Hasselblad that came out. For those of you watching the Olympics, Japan wants to extend the lockdown in Tokyo after a record virus wave. It seemed quite strange that you've got the biggest competition in the world on. Maybe they shouldn't have opened it. We did mention about Amazon dumping 8%. We mentioned on the news, Amazon's breakneck growth will slow over the coming months. That's obviously the headline in the Times today. Quarterly revenues fell short of the $115.42 billion. That's in just one quarter. That's quite a lot of money. Slightly less than you make, Jerry, on on your goal position. Yeah, but it was a 27% surge in sales, which makes me think that Amazon's doing everything right. It's just become too big a company that I don't think they can do any more. Their lawyers are full up and they say everything they can. What more do you want? Lastly, the Daily Mail, 1 in 7 shops in Britain is vacant, especially in mostly all the shopping centres. That's the headlines coming out. Right. I'm going to say month end. I've always said it. We do expect FTSE to be the worst. Always a beneficiary, wouldn't we call it? But we do expect some selling coming into month end, especially into the 4:30 close. Over the years, it does tend to work on a Friday. It didn't work last month. Make that very clear. So we go on price action again. So as we're coming into the Friday morning, and obviously a massive shock from where I said, Jerry, where we were at 8:30, 9 o'clock last night, the market has turned turtle. My view is that I expect to see a bit of stop hunting this morning. What do you think?
Exactly. Yeah, no, I alluded to it last night. Like, wasn't surprised to see the FTSE starting to pull back. The only thing I was surprised at is how quickly it moved overnight. That was the big surprise, because I have a few gaps appearing on some of my charts, which is obviously interesting. But yeah, look, it's still moving lower at the moment. Stop hunting, absolutely, I completely agree.
Yeah.
7,000 looks it's probably going to be tested again, I'd say, if the truth was known.
Yeah.
7013, I think, or 7012, I think, was the POC from Wednesday. And that looks like it's going to be probably met as well. So let's just keep an eye on that.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see where we are on the FTSE for the month. Are we almost like 10 ticks out or 10 ticks down? We're not very far apart, are we?
We are. Give me 1 second, and I'll just double check that for you.
While you're there, what's just come out? Merkel, obviously, she resigns or retires as a German leader. The latest poll, obviously, remember their elections in September. She's lost 2 points in the current ZDF poll, and the German party has gained it, but she still has a 7% majority going into it. That may come in. So remember, again, one other thing before Jerry tells us where the FTSE is, the German GDP is at 9 o'clock, so we may have to wait until 9 o'clock for the market to move, because we are in the summer months. So those of you who get our emails in the morning, we don't do our artists on the Friday. Why? Because it ruins the weekend. We are in the summer doldrums, so although we do expect the stops, wait till the stops come. Anyway, Jerry, go on.
Sorry, so the FTSE for the month is down 34 points at the moment.
Wow.
Based on current market prices. So it's just down marginally.
Yeah.
But it was like, when we look at where it was mid-month, it was back at what, 6,820, 6,840, or even slightly lower than that. So it has come back fairly well. But I think today's close is a bit ominous, really, isn't it? It looks like it's going to close lower anyway on the month.
Well, obviously the target will be 7,000 just because of the figure.
Yeah.
As we say, double O George in there.
Yeah.
Right, George, our scalper. You obviously want your FTSE?
Yeah, I'm already in.
A lot of our members, and I saw Jerry and George Coles on there, have obviously got into FTSE early. But those of you at 8 o'clock, we will wait for price action and see where we go. Remember last time, very fierce, and we mentioned about orders that come in, market orders that come in. They are time priority. So hit first. So sometimes if people have got stops, especially we'll say at the DAX below 154.90, we can see the low here, and obviously the FTSE, we're near our current lows for the day. We don't buy no new lows. Why? As Jerry just said, we go stop hunting. People that like us, day traders, hourly traders, they will look to hunt a new low. Especially, it was quite weird how fierce Amazon came off.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of a change overnight compared to where we were, let's say, Wednesday evening. We went risk on Wednesday, Thursday, then Thursday night, that bullish, hawkish, or even dovish momentum, should I say, completely faded. Then the dollar started to pick up a bit of strength. And then you even look at the US indices, they're off from last night as well. Which obviously looks ominous for month end. So I wouldn't be surprised to see month end selling across the board.
Robin Hood took a bit of a hit as well, didn't
it? DAX quickly, sorry to interfere. DAX has been hit, and the FTSE, as we said, on the opening at 8 o'clock, the stops come in. They can't sell it at 7:59, which is stupid. They have to wait till 8 o'clock. And the horrible wick in the DAX, what does it say? We did hit a new low in the DAX. And obviously, I think the FTSE's been the easier one to stay short of. But those shorts were easier to see on the FTSE than we saw on the DAX. Horrible wicks to DAX, massive down, and now back to where we were, almost at the 730 and above levels. Again, watching the fear and the FTSE as well. Those black candles, green candles come on. That was just stops in at 8 o'clock. As we said, the bloke had to come in and sell his 500 bananas at market because he couldn't sell them at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and they were filled. And obviously, a lot of the algos, it looks as though they've ramped it back up. But that's a horrible. It's one of your horrible wicks, isn't it, Jerry?
Yeah, that's pretty horrible wicking, actually. To be fair,
I thought we'd
kind of continue moving lower for a little bit, but it's kind of stemmed it so far. So I suppose I'm going to wait and see. 803. Do we start to get to see further selling again?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we forget is that the FTSE is still almost 0.8% down.
Yeah, which is important to note.
And what's weird is that the FTSE is down 0.82 and the DAX is down 0.85. That tells me very much that we're quite algo controlled at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, absolutely.
Again, probably have to wait until 9 o'clock, but you've been on Jerry's technical courses. It will tell you how dangerous wicks are.
Yeah. That's like, even there, like at the moment there, the FTSE's after wicking down and came back up for a moment or two, and it's trying to actually engulf those wicks that made it 8 o'clock on the stop punch. So I'm still bearish at the moment.
I'm still short. Yeah, but that DAX rally up to 155.528, whatever it was horrible.
Yeah, and the DAX has gone now new lows.
Yeah, I think we play on the bearish side, but those of you who read our email this morning, we try and send out, we don't want Friday to ruin our weekend.
Absolutely not. No, definitely not. Definitely not.
So we cut our size down and play that way, like very whippy in the deck. Yeah. Right, Jerry. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. No, mate, that's pretty much it. Just assessing, I suppose, back at 2:30, obviously for the open, to see if anything happens, but then more importantly 4:30 to see if we do get further selling. So the ideal scenario would be to kind of hold the FTSE through the day if I could, because I just think FTSE could go another 20-30 points easily today. But I'm going to wait and see. Let price action guide the way, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said a couple of minutes ago you do like to wait till the 8:03.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, Jerry, for that.
No worries, mate. No worries at all.
End of the month, we'll come back. If the market does look fairly volatile, we might do a 4 o'clock, 4:30, 4:20 FTSE Zoom to go on to our Wall Street one.
Yeah.
So obviously, we got personal income and PCE out 132.
I suppose, just before you go, Neil, I suppose the interesting thing today is, given how much we've sold off from late last night into this morning already, there is the possibility that this could be the month-end selling already, and it could be just done throughout the day rather than just that short, snappy 4:30. So
totally agree. Yeah.
4:30 could be like a non-event because of the amount of selling that we've seen this morning. And I think that's obviously something that people should keep an eye on as well.
I mean, it's quite interesting. George Coles this morning said he wants to start selling early.
Told me last night. I had a look at 8:30 and was like, it's got to be sold now.
Right.
Yeah,
we're on the FTSE, and I think
it went up for no
wise.
reason. It wasn't holding it, was it?
We're very wise to be short, but again, like Jerry said, we have to manage our trades.
If anything, they only get down here, on it.
Yeah, we have to manage our trades and manage our risk. That is so important, as Jerry says. And there's nothing worse that you could be short 5 or 6 times, have a shocking day, and the market closes on its lows.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
Cheers, Jerry. We'll see you back at. Anyway, what top are you wearing today before we go?
It's just a normal one. It's I'm getting ready for my holidays, so it's all summery. I'm going to be wearing it in Barcelona next
week. Avengers t-shirt, isn't it?
It can be anything you like, Georgie boy. It can be anything you like.
Good taste of Rangers.
Right. Cheers, Jerry.
Cheers, lads. Have a good one.
See you back at 2:20.
See you later. Cheers, lads.
Cheers, Jerry. Bye.